thunderstorm watch. We're keeping an eye on the radar as storms are rumbling across northeast Ohio. We'll tell you how this will play out through the overnight.
Are still red, but they're off what we call the watch list.
Cuyahoga County for now will remain in the red alert zone, not moving towards purple. In fact, our coronavirus cases are moving in the right direction. We'll have the latest numbers.
Meet the new bishop. The Pope chooses a new leader for the Cleveland Catholic Diocese. His roots and the new approach he could bring.
The Browns and my teammates are going to look past that and go on to greater success, and that'll just be a small bump in the road.
5-year deal. Myles Garrett talks for the first time since signing a record-setting agreement to stay with the Browns.
This is Kevin, our mannequin.
Turning heads. Meet the mannequin that's been bringing smiles to a local neighborhood through the quarantine and beyond.
And it's Throwdown Thursday. Mike POLK puts our Olympic knowledge to the test as Betsy and I battle it out for the leg lamp. What's new starts now.
And now, live from WKYC Studios, this is What's New.
Yes, it is, and hello again, Northeast Ohio. Thank you so much for choosing What's New. It is Thursday. Gets us one step from the big day, Betsy,
Right?
who I think is ready for Friday.
I'm ready for Friday.
I think you are. Yeah. With Betsy Kling, I'm Jay Crawford. Something to talk about here with weather that we haven't seen this in a couple of weeks, Betsy.
Right? Yeah, we actually have a severe thunderstorm watch that's active right now for much of northeast Ohio. We have one warning to talk about. Matt Wentz is keeping an eye on all of that for us this evening. And overall, it looks like the threat is not imminent for much of the area, but we do still have a few trouble spots to talk about, Matt.
Yeah, Betsy, you're absolutely right. In fact, that severe thunderstorm warning that we had for areas of extreme northeastern Ashtabula County has been trimmed back, so that has been allowed to expire. So all of it's just under a watch right now. Again, that goes till 9 o'clock. I would imagine as we go throughout the evening, they'll start to trim away at that. But you can see the scattered storms that we have, some of them becoming more well organized than others. Most of us just seeing a quick downpour, no thunder and lightning with these, and then it moves on. But some of our more robust thunderstorms, this is where the warning was out towards Conneaut, Kingsville. That storm has now pushed out into Erie and Crawford County in Pennsylvania. Lots of lightning, gusty winds with that. Other strong storms just off the border there from Trumbull County. They were affecting the Hartford community, but those have moved out. You can see just a couple scattered downpours. Areas of Geauga and Lake County. Pretty organized cell there north of Rootstown, heading into the Kent-Ravenna area here over the next half hour. Otherwise, we're going to continue to keep an eye on these storms as we go throughout the evening. The red area there, that's where the greatest instability is. It's the eastern half of the viewing area. That's where we're going to keep an eye on the storms. If you're in the western half, you have no severe threat whatsoever. We'll detail what the rest of the evening looks like. And we've got a really hot weekend ahead. We'll talk about that coming up.
We definitely do. Thanks a lot, Matt.
Well, Betsy, our latest coronavirus numbers are out, and while most are heading in the right direction, the most important number took a turn the wrong way. We're going to start with new cases. 1,290 reported in the last 24-hour window. That's down 26 cases from the total yesterday. Ohio tested a daily record in the last reporting period, more than 25,000 people in a single day. And our positivity rate was slightly higher at 6.3%, up from 5.4% yesterday, but still below the 7-day average. Currently, Ohio has 1,024 COVID-19 patients that are hospitalized. That is down just one from yesterday. But the troubling number is deaths. There were 28 deaths reported in the state of Ohio yesterday. That is up from just 6 the day before. Now, after Governor DeWine's dramatic plea yesterday that we all wear masks, he talked today about his statewide alert levels. Andrew Horansky joins What's New now. And Drew, relatively good news on that front today.
Well, Jay, it was sort of a mixed bag. Yes, there was good news, there was bad news as well. If we were to go with a sort of wine with DeWine scale, I would say that today was maybe a little bit more of a rosé than a, let's say, a bitter acidic red. Let's start with the good news because I think we could all use some of that right now, right? 3 counties have been removed from the watch list. The governor announced that this afternoon. They are Hamilton, Butler, and drumroll, Cuyahoga County as well. All of them, as you know, had been on the brink of reaching the state's highest public health warning. Still, important to note here, none of them are in the clear. They're just seeing something of a plateau right now. There is still a very high chance of exposure to the virus in those counties. We can still mess this up, and I think that's a big take-home. We can undo that progress. Now, what I found especially interesting today was the details that the governor gave on what caused outbreaks in specific counties. They could, for example, isolate where a group of people returned from Florida and then spread the disease in that county. Governor DeWine also had a conversation with health directors today and shared his notes where these were some of the biggest culprits. Take a listen.
Block parties, neighborhood get-togethers, bars, churches. Mention, of course, about young people, and the data's clear. 20 to 29-year-olds, the numbers have gone up, dramatically. Travel, people coming back from traveling, and from hotspot states.
So as of right now, 19 counties across the state are still at level 3 or red. That does include Cuyahoga County. That means people are required to wear masks in those 19 counties starting tomorrow, of course, at 6 o'clock at night. That's going to go into effect. The governor says that includes, Jay, about 60% of Ohio. At the same time, stores tonight are requiring people to wear masks. We'll talk about which one's coming up at 6. A lot of interest, of course, in that as well, because stores taking matters into their own hands. And we will also break down some of the causes by county of what they're seeing there behind the COVID outbreaks. And it varies by location. It's really pretty interesting.
All right, Drew, we're looking forward to that, and we will see you at 6. Thank you very much.
Well, the increase in coronavirus cases has business owners concerned about the future. Closed for months and then finally reopening, and it seems like things are going in the right direction. But we have seen new shutdowns in states like California, and there's uncertainty locally. Could the same thing happen here?
I think that Urban Cuts would have survived another shutdown, but I know several other businesses that already said if we shut down again, I'm not even going to attempt to come back.
If we don't get worse, I don't see a shutdown. Unless things really exponentially increase, I don't see a shutdown. Let's keep our fingers crossed. Wear the masks, folks.
And that guy right there, University Hospital's Dr. Keith Armitage, believes we're seeing the consequences of people letting their guard down. He says we need to go back to social distancing in a way that doesn't destroy the economy.
Now, that is so key. Pope Francis has appointed a bishop to the Cleveland Diocese. After nearly 6 months of the position being vacant, Bishop-designate Edward Malesic led his first Mass in Cleveland earlier today. Brandon Simmons joins us now to tell us a little bit more about him. Brandon, good afternoon to you.
Hi, Jay. Yeah, Bishop Malesic is headed here to Cleveland, as you said, to fill that vacancy that was left when then Bishop Nelson Perez left for Philadelphia after being called on by Pope Francis to become Archbishop. And that happened about 6 months ago. Now, Bishop Malesic is currently the Bishop of Greensburg, and that's just east of Pennsylvania. And he made the trip to Cleveland this morning to address the media and to participate in his first Mass since the announcement was made. Now, during his tenure in Greensburg, that diocese was known for taking the opioid epidemic head on, creating a task force in the church, tackling issues with sexual abuse, and most recently navigating through this pandemic. Now, of course, we're still in this pandemic as he makes his way to Cleveland. And Malesic says his vision right now is really simple: communicate the gospel to people.
You may be wondering who this person is from Greensburg. I'm a disciple of Jesus Christ. I love his church. The difficulties in the church today are the same everywhere. Probably in Cleveland, my guess is there's a lot of young people who are not attending Mass or drifting away from the practice of the faith. We need to address that.
Now, many people who already know Malesic appreciate his warm and relaxed approach as bishop, and that was on display today as he made jokes at times and emphasized how he only wanted to be a parish priest and never expected to be where he is now. A very humble message. And now his role here in Cleveland, he'll be leading a diocese that's about 5 times larger than the one where he was before in Greensburg. We're talking about 700,000 Catholics across 8 counties. And I think it's big shoes to fill, but it seems like he's up to the task, and he'll officially take on that role on September 14th, Jay.
Well, Bishop Malesic, we welcome you to Cleveland and wish you all the best. Brandon, thank you.
Well, it's time now to get a check on some of the other news that's making headlines around Northeast Ohio. Russ Mitchell joins us now on the other side of the room. Howdy, Russ.
Howdy, Betsy. Good afternoon, Jay.
Hi, Russ.
And good afternoon to you at home. You will not find Civil War memorabilia and Confederate flags at the Lorain County Fair this year. The president of the County Fair Board told the Morning Journal that this is not a ban. It's because the last vendors selling those items canceled due to coronavirus. The fair has been under fire from activists who want the Confederate flag burned, calling it a racist symbol. 3 Cedar Point employees have tested positive for coronavirus. The park confirmed the cases and said they were screened before the park reopened last week. Several Cedar Point rides, including Blue Streak, Rougarou, did I say that right, guys? Wicket Twister and Top Thrill Dragster remain closed. I had to check with my experts over there. Metro Health offered drive-in coronavirus testing today at Olivet Baptist Church. The hospital is conducting tests at several area churches this month. If you are interested, remember, you do have to pre-register to get a test. Good thing they're doing, trying to end the disparity of testing going on around the area.
It is good to see them out there, certainly. All right, Russ, we'll get another check of some new headlines that coming up at 5:30.
Right, see ya.
Well, the $125 million man, that is now Browns pass rusher Myles Garrett. And that new extension will make him the highest paid player in the entire National Football League that does not play the position of quarterback. Myles spoke with the Cleveland media today, and Nick Camino joins us live now to talk about it. Nick, the Pittsburgh helmet incident, as you might guess, is still coming up.
Well, absolutely, Jay. And I think that's something that's going to continue to follow him for the foreseeable future. I mean, everybody's been talking about that. But today was interesting because it was the first time that the local media has had an opportunity to talk with Garrett since that suspension last year. It's been pretty crazy. And I think if you're a Browns fan, you're hoping that he can continue to grow from that, continue to learn from that incident. But again, that's all that's being brought up. Now, the Browns front office, we know they must be confident in Garrett because they rewarded him with that record-setting contract, 5 years, as you said, Jay, $125 million. I mean, we're talking mega bucks, especially for the position that he plays. But if Garrett is healthy, if he plays at the level he's shown he's capable of, the Browns defensive end, he might just be worth every penny. But let's talk about the perception of this. A big contract following that ugly incident at the end of the Steelers game. We all remember it. Is Myles Garrett a dirty player? That's what everyone's been talking about. And I think that he definitely lost his cool that night. It was an ugly scene, but Garrett still does not strike me as a dirty player. I don't know. There's a lot of dirty NFL players out there. In fact, Garrett was asked about the incident today, and he made it clear that won't define the player or the person that he hopes to be.
I mean, my life is much bigger than one moment. You know, me, the Browns, and my teammates are going to look past that and go on to greater success, and that'll just be a small bump in the road.
I don't know, Jay. Am I halfway nuts? I mean, I watch an unhealthy amount of NFL football. I know you watch a lot of NFL in college. Does Myles Garrett, I know that situation was ugly, but when I think of dirty players, I'm thinking of like a Vontaze Burfict. You know, Myles Garrett doesn't strike me like that.
It's interesting because we know him. We've had interactions with him. And he's the furthest thing in the world from an aggressive person when he's not wearing a football uniform. But we've also watched him play, and he runs hot. He plays with a very high motor, and the position which he plays can get very intense. He's clearly done things that some outside of Cleveland would look at and say that's the act of a dirty player. But again, I think we have the benefit of knowing him and watching him every single play, not just the ones that make the highlight reel. I'd take him, and I think it's a smart move by the Browns. I've had many GMs tell me the most important position in the game is quarterback, and the second most important position is the guys that chase them. And he does that as well as anyone.
Yeah. Yeah, listen, you need a pass rush, and he can provide that. So hopefully, and again, that outside perception is a dirty player. The only way he can prove people wrong, go out there, play well, and play clean. Keep the helmet on.
And I love what he wrote down yesterday. Just keep betting on me, Cleveland, and we are. And I have no doubt he will make all of us forget about that one snapshot moment. Nick, thanks. We'll see you later at 6 o'clock in sports. Coming up on What's New, meet Kevin. He's a bit of a stiff. He's actually a mannequin, but he is taking one local suburb by storm. Betsy, I love this story.
It's an interesting one for sure, and a lot of folks have been also chatting about the Cleveland Indians and what is going to be their next name. We make the case for the Cleveland Naps coming up, and it's an interesting kind of scenario and backstory on that.
It is, named after a person.
Mm-hmm.
Welcome back to What's New. I hope this story makes you smile as much as it made me smile. It's been a difficult couple of months. We know that. While we're all forced to spend more time at home, one couple is doing their best to bring smiles to the faces of those living in their neighborhood. They're doing it with an unlikely friend. Austin Love tells this great story.
If you take a stroll down East 293rd Street in Willowick, most likely you'll meet Mary Slocum, her husband Tim, and Kevin.
This is Kevin, our mannequin.
You heard that right. Kevin, the mannequin. A January birthday present for Mary.
So I just think it's fun, just something to do.
It wasn't until the March lockdown that Kevin really started to come out of his shell.
Yeah. I get some of the women that comment are really liking his abs.
Every day since quarantine started, Mary, Tim, and a few helpful neighbors have prepped Kevin to go on a new adventure.
A lot of people are walking these days, and so they get to come by and see what Kevin's doing.
He's fixed the car, trimmed the bushes, showed off his skills on the grill, worked on his tan, performed surgery, and today, he's camping.
We're just making people smile.
Stopping traffic.
Oh man, I love him. He's different every day. He's always doing something.
And catching the attention of neighbors like Elizabeth and Robert Exo and their daughter Kate.
Part of everyone's routine is what's Kevin going to be today?
They first saw Kevin on one of their daily quarantine walks.
One of the neighbors said, "Don't worry, that's Kevin. He's a nice guy. He just doesn't talk much." Sure enough, the next day he was out again, and we started to stop and take a selfie or take a picture with Kevin. And I think pretty much almost every day since late March, we have stopped by to see Kevin.
Kevin might not talk much, but it gave them a way to connect with neighbors they otherwise probably wouldn't have.
Oh, the fact that we had something to look forward to every day, neighbors to socially distance but talk to every day, really was kind of a bright spot in a dark time.
So if you're in the neighborhood, stop by and see what Kevin's up to. He literally can't smile, but most likely you will.
Austin, terrific story. So, Bets, I'm going to ask you a question in a second. Do you have any ideas that he should be that we haven't seen him yet? And my idea is they should dress him up as a Cleveland Indians player for opening day. I know it might be tough to get the full uniform. Do your best. Right. I would love to see him as an Indians player. It'd be cool.
See him with an Indian shirt on there in one of the clips.
I think so. I want him full regalia, holding a bat, ready to go for the season.
I'm thinking bartender.
Bartender could be cool.
Kevin can come in very handy.
Yeah. Kevin would be much more popular, I think, if he were a bartender.
You could just hold the glass. Just.
You know, they could take a piece of green plywood and put it behind him, and he could be a weatherman.
Absolutely.
You know, stand in front of the chroma key.
Hey,
someone likes that idea.
I mean, why not?
Yeah, I think that would be a nice tribute to Betsy and Matt. Don't you?
Hit him every now and then. He goes like this. Kind of would wave that way.
A weatherman.
Yeah.
We just throwing suggestions out there.
Totally.
You can take them if you want.
Matt, don't worry, you're safe. We are not going to throw Kevin in your space, but you know, if there's a day that you call off sick, I mean, there's a possibility that we could contract with him a little bit.
He doesn't have.
Well, you know, if our forecast is off too, we could put Kevin out there for people to throw stuff at instead of us. So that'll be great. Yes.
Exactly right.
That'll be great.
You have a weather word today. It is saturated.
Well.
Saturated.
Yeah.
Oh, that's easy. I've got the perfect map to show saturated today.
Where did that come from?
Vince, actually, our producer.
We had rodeo, and we've had all kinds of random words, and then you bust out saturated.
I got to credit Vince for that. Vince came up with that.
That explains a lot.
And I do think it will work into your forecast. So have at it.
It will, for sure. By the way, there are rodeos in Northeast Ohio. I got a couple messages on Facebook about that. All right, let's get to the watch that we have. There's a severe thunderstorm watch out till 9 o'clock. I got to be honest with you, though. I think most of this activity is going to be out on the Pennsylvania side of things. But still, we have an atmosphere that can produce some severe thunderstorms in a hurry. So we'll continue to keep an eye on some of these cells. It's mainly in the extreme eastern half of our viewing area. You can see just scattered downpours across Northeast Ohio. None of this is good enough to bust some of that drought that we have going on across northeast Ohio. It's just going to water the lawn and then evaporate after that. But some of our biggest cells have been just across the border. Conneaut, you got a decent downpour with the strong thunderstorm earlier. That's all moved off towards the east. A couple more downpours moving in near Thompson, Orwell as well. You can see the greater Cleveland area, just a couple raindrops here and there. That's about it. Some of our other organized showers are in Portage County, Kent, Ravenna, heading up towards Champion community, seeing some heavier rain, but no lightning in these. Not a lot of energy in that atmosphere until you get over into Pennsylvania. And that's why I think where that greatest atmospheric energy is, that's where our highest likelihood of severe weather will be the rest of the evening. The setup for this, though, we do have some winds aloft up in the atmosphere that we have to keep an eye on. That helps to kind of regenerate these storms and keep them going. There's also a little bit of shear present as well with some of those surface winds coming from a different direction. But again, I think this is going to be a non-event for us here in northeast Ohio. National Design Mart hour-by-hour forecast. Anything that we have eventually clears off towards the east. You can see tomorrow morning we do have lingering clouds, kind of a murky start tomorrow, perhaps some fog as well. But throughout your Friday, we'll see improving conditions hour by hour. It will be another hot day. We'll make it well into the 80s by afternoon. Mostly sunny skies for your Friday afternoon and evening. So your patio forecast tonight, I would hold off just for another hour or two. I think later in the evening will be okay. But if you're heading out in the patio, look at the temperatures. We're well into the 70s right now, a little bit cooler off towards the west. And that atmosphere, here's the map I've been waiting for, is saturated. It is tropical outside. Dew points in the low 70s. These compare to Florida right now, believe it or not. And that's not going to help our drought we've got going on. Look at temperatures up over the weekend. We have another wave of heat coming in here, low to mid 90s Saturday and Sunday. And yes, that comes with humidity. Universal Windows Direct 7-day forecast, 87 with improving conditions tomorrow, 93 a dry day Saturday. Sunday night is when we bring back our next chance of storms, and that will continue through next week with gradually declining temperatures as we go through there. So I'm going to go saturate myself with some water because it's warm outside, and I'll send it back to you guys.
I thought he was going to say something else. I'm glad you used water.
Bring in Kevin. Where's Kevin?
Yeah, we need Kevin.
Kevin the bartender.
We'll see you in the next half hour. Eye of the Tiger, the reason the golf world has focused its eyes on Columbus, Ohio this week.
All right, everybody, it's 5:25 and 25 seconds. How about that? It is time for Clicking in Cleveland. Stephanie Haney is off today, so unfortunately for you, you are stuck with me. To start, we're going to continue our series we've been doing this week, making the case for potential new names for the Indians. WKYC.com sports writer Ben Axelrod makes the case for the Cleveland Naps.
When it comes to the Cleveland Indians' new name, don't sleep on the Naps. From 1903 to 1914, the franchise that would become the Indians was called the Naps in honor of star second baseman Nap Lajoie. While Lajoie's departure for the Philadelphia Athletics is what led to the Indians changing their name in 1915, he's still considered one of the greatest players in franchise history. So if the Indians decide that the Buckeyes are already taken and the Spiders are too gross, Naps might be the right choice for them to honor their history.
Not sold on that one. Got to be honest. That one's not at the top of my list. All right, we continue on. Beer, soda, sparkling water. If you're having trouble finding your favorite canned drinks, blame the coronavirus. Coca-Cola confirmed on Twitter that demand for canned drinks is way up because of the pandemic, since more people are enjoying their favorite drinks at home rather than in restaurants. The soda industry saw a 30% spike in demand for canned drinks in March and April. The Brewers Association says other beverage industries were already getting away from plastic in favor of aluminum before the virus hit, so aluminum can manufacturing is at capacity. Several companies are expanding U.S. can manufacturing to keep up. And don't forget, you can recycle aluminum cans. Yay, do your part. All right, Tiger Woods is going after the PGA Tour career victory record this weekend right here in Ohio at the Memorial Tour. This will be a strange experience for Tiger, who's had crowds following him for a long time, all the way since his teens. No fans are there to watch because of the coronavirus. Of course, you can see it on TV. By the way, Tiger did birdie his first hole today. Now, this is Tiger's first competitive round on the PGA Tour since February. Now you know what's clicking in Cleveland. Well, new at 5:30, air conditioning and coronavirus. Oh, it's heating up outside. You just turn on the good old AC. Well, there is a bit of a link, and we're going to find out what we can do to help stop it. Plus, Michelle Obama starts her own podcast. What she says will make her stand out with so many different options out there. We'll be right back.
My mom, my brother, my friends, my colleagues.
And now, live from WKYC Studios, this is What's New.
Woo, welcome back. It's 5:30. We're still with What's New. I've just sprinted across
You almost
the
got
studio.
caught out of your chair, young lady.
I did. I've been caught out of my chair numerous times, but you know, this is what happens when you're running back and forth doing a whole bunch of different things. My name's Betsy Kling, joined by Jay Crawford as usual. And Jay, it's 5:30. That means it's time for you to tell me something good.
I'm going to, and I'll give you the plan story in a second, but first, you had said you're not a big fan of naps. Apparently, someone else thought this was funny. They said, Cleveland naps, what's the logo going to be? A hammock? And I, all of a sudden, like Cleveland naps a lot more than I did before.
Be a pretty sweet way to do some seating out in the outfield district area. Just
I
put
like
some
that.
hammocks up.
I'm a big fan of naps. Okay, here's our good news story to start our 5:30 half hour. A little boy from Wyoming named Bridger is being called a hero. This after saving his younger sister from a dog attack. It was vicious. He took 90 stitches in the process of saving her. Look at him. But word of his heroics reached beyond his wildest dreams. In fact, they went all the way to his hero, Captain America actor Chris Evans, who had this message for hero Bridger.
Pal, you're a hero. What you did was so brave, so selfless. Your sister is so lucky to have you as a big brother. Your parents must be so proud of you. I'm going to track down your address and I'm going to send you an authentic Captain America shield because, pal, you deserve it.
I have cold chills.
I do too. I love the way that was shot. You could see Bridger and you could see Captain America, the real Captain America, by the way.
The real one.
And I just think that that's a moment that he'll never forget the rest of his life, no matter where he goes or what he does. I love that story. It's
I think that's awesome.
terrific.
90 stitches, that poor little man. And oh
He
my
jumped
goodness,
into, you know, he
parents.
sprung into action like superheroes do, Bets. You don't think about the danger, you go.
Right?
He's a hero.
Makes me not so fearful for the future.
There is hope.
There's some good ones out there. All right, let's keep moving, Jay. We want to get to our top talker, and it's one that a lot of people are buzzing about on social media. Air conditioning and coronavirus. Yes, there's a link. As businesses, restaurants, and potentially even schools open up, building ventilation is being looked at as a potential coronavirus spreader. A CDC study of restaurant in China found a link between virus transmission and AC airflow. It's leading to talk of investing in HEPA and UV light filtering systems to better clean the air.
These kinds of adjustments are quite expensive.
It's not just about, changing a filter, right? You may have to change a fan as well so you could have more pressure flowing through the air ducts as you increase the filtration.
The added cost is an issue for many cash-strapped small businesses. New York State plans to make filtration systems mandatory in shopping malls. HEPA filters are already in use in most hospitals and on airplanes. And is this the time to say if you just wear your mask, maybe it wouldn't be such a problem?
It would certainly be a big step in the right direction, right?
One would think, certainly. But, I mean, it is expensive. And, HEPA filters are all around us now. We know they filter out fine particulates and even some of the virus-trapping properties there. It's not going to get it all. It's not perfect. But certainly we'll take any advantage that we can get.
Yep, and we can use every little advantage in this fight. Yeah, I thought the governor framed it very well yesterday. He said plainly, Ohio, the future is in your hands. It really is up to us. If we treat this thing like the deadly, serious threat that it is, we can combat it. But I think he was right also when he said we've all collectively let our guards down. I think we've seen it everywhere we go. We need to get back to our March and April levels of alertness and doing the right thing.
Yep, I think everybody has their own responsibility level, and hopefully they'll live up to it.
I hope so, too, for society's sake. Okay, Russ Mitchell back in the studio now. He's going to give us a look at the news making headlines here at 5:30. Hello again, Russ.
Hello again, Jay. We begin with news that a big generator of Ohio tourism is shutting down. Transportation company Coach USA confirmed to us today that the lakefront lines will be no more come September after taking a huge economic hit because of coronavirus. Lakefront, which is headquartered in Cleveland, provides bus tours and charters across Ohio, as well as Michigan and many other destinations. At this point, it's not clear how many jobs will be lost. Target, CVS, Marks & Kohl's are the latest retailers requiring customers to wear a mask in their stores. This announcement comes a day after Walmart, Sam's Club, and Starbucks announced those same measures. They begin at those stores next week. And the city of Mentor has canceled some upcoming summer events. This includes the Menor Rocks concert series. The city says that series has been suspended until further notice because of the rise of coronavirus cases in Lake County and surrounding counties. And disappointing, Jay, but certainly not surprising.
No, I'm completely with you. I was actually surprised that it went on as scheduled.
Yeah.
Even though they tried to socially distance. When you put that many people in that small of a space, bad things tend to happen, and we saw it there.
Yeah,
Russ?
I see that Michael Jackson impersonator as a guest on What's New, perhaps.
You know,
What do you think?
I have to say, I did enjoy those moves. He had a little flair to him.
Yeah.
Russ, we'll see you at top of the hour, 6 o'clock.
Beat it, Jay.
That Russ Mitchell, he's so clever.
I love it. I wish I would have thought of that.
I know, right? He gets you every now and then, I'll tell you. All right, well, Burger King is coming out with a new Whopper. So what's different? It's all about the cows. That's right, the cows. This is their clip and their attention-grabbing new ad.
When cows fart and burp and splatter, well, it ain't no laughing matter. They're releasing methane every time they do.
Yeah, Burger King is changing the diets of the cows that make up their beef supply chain. It's kind of clever, actually. They're adding lemongrass to their diets. The cows are 33% less gassy, putting less methane, a known greenhouse gas, into the atmosphere.
Okay, I'm so many things you can say to that.
There's just so much. There's a lot to unpack.
How do you record or come up with an estimate as to how much gas they're putting into the environment?
You'd actually be kind of surprised to find out there's a lot of studies that are being done on gas emissions from animals.
I wouldn't want to be in that science, let me just say right now.
I mean, if you've driven past a farm, you know something's going on, right?
I just don't want to run around with a mason jar and a lid trying to catch it.
Negative.
You
You don't have to do that. They actually have buildings, you know what I mean, with some ventilation systems that
and they just let them do their
all the
thing.
measurement and take care of that, yeah.
All right, I like to spend my time during the day thinking of things that aren't quite so nasty.
It's time to
But
go
I'm glad
outside.
someone's thinking about it because
Very important.
Yeah, it's very important.
Whew. Let's keep on moving, shall we? The outpouring of emotion and putting words to action from the cast of Glee in the wake of star Naya Rivera's death.
And Matt's standing by to tell us what's going on with the weather. Hi, Matt.
Hi, Jay. We're dry right now, at least in our backyard, but many backyards seeing downpours right now. We continue with that severe thunderstorm watch through 9 o'clock. I've got the latest radars and forecasts for you coming up.
All right, and it's time now for your pop quiz with Twitter in the headlines right now. The social network was first publicly available to users on This Week in History. Was the year 2002, 2004, or 2006? All of those answers are a lot earlier than I anticipated. We'll have the final answer when What's New continues.
Betsy, I'm going to have to duct tape you to that chair.
I'm trying to get weather graphics ready for 6 o'clock.
Oh, that's right.
All right, let's get your answer now to today's pop quiz. Believe it or not, Twitter was founded and then went live to the general public in a matter of months.
Wow.
It happened very quickly. It was this week in 2006 that Twitter was open for business. Currently, Twitter is said to have a 145 million daily users.
Wow, that seems like an awful lot. A lot of nice people, a lot of positivity on Twitter. Have you ever noticed? Yeah. Hashtag I'm being sarcastic. Okay, that music means it's time for our daily dose of pop culture. Kara Cotton is in for Stephanie today with your daily pop break.
Glee's Heather Morris has officially spoken out on the tragic death of her on-screen wife and best friend, Naya Rivera. The actor shared pics of her own sons with Naya's son, Josie, writing, "I speak to you every day, and I know you're still with me. I cherish every moment we had and hold it close to my heart." Glee creators Brad Falchuk, Ian Brennan, and Ryan Murphy are also keeping Rivera and her son in their hearts. The trio released a letter calling her a force of nature, saying they're in the process of setting up a college fund for Josie. YouTube star and Westlake native Jake Paul is facing some backlash after hosting a party at his Calabasas, California mansion on Saturday. Videos show fellow YouTubers Tanya Mongeau and Bryce Hall among the crowds drinking and having a good time, but without masks and with no signs of social distancing. The mayor of Calabasas condemned Paul's pandemic party, saying, "They're having this large party, no social distancing, no mask. It's just a big, huge disregard for everything that everybody is trying to do to get things back to functioning," she said. "It's really just a party acting like COVID does not exist." Former First Lady Michelle Obama is coming soon to a speaker near you. On Wednesday, she announced her project, the Michelle Obama Podcast, exclusively on Spotify. The podcast will cover a variety of topics with guest appearances from those closest to her, including her mom, brothers, and colleagues.
My hope is that this podcast can be a place for us to sort through the questions that we're all trying to answer, a place to open up and be a little vulnerable and have some fun along the way.
Episodes will be available starting July 29th.
Are you a big podcaster?
No, I'm really not. No, I don't. I mean, there's a few that I like to listen to, but where do people find the time to binge watch 8 different television series and to listen to all these different podcasts? I'm busy. I don't know about you, but
they're great in the car.
It's great for driving. If you're going on a long drive, I love the true crime podcasts.
You can find some that are exactly the length of your commute.
Yeah. That's good. Yeah, that's good. By and large, though, I'm not. And one quick note on the Jake Paul thing. I know he's a Clevelander, but he's a social media influencer. Mm-hmm. There isn't a worse thing you can do right now to influence society than throwing a party that looks like that right now. Kind of tone deaf.
Yeah, oops.
Yeah.
Not such a good one.
Not a good look.
Meanwhile, socially distanced, far, far away from us, but still close in our hearts, is Matt Wintz, who is hanging out with the fam back in the toy room. How are things going inside and how are things going outside?
Well, inside, River is Grumpelstiltskin this afternoon. I'm not sure if he got his nap or not. Yeah, he's a train wreck. I mean, it's just a mess. Emmy's sweet as always. Jay, I caught the end of a segment earlier. Did you need a mason jar with a lid? I didn't hear were you doing some cooking? I've got one if you need it.
No, you can
I'll
keep
set that right here for you.
Yeah, you can keep that.
Okay.
Have the kids catch fireflies in it. Poke holes in the top and make a nighttime flashlight.
I was going to say, it's kind of morbid, Jay, not poking holes in a glass.
Yeah, you got to make sure the holes are in the top.
Use a plastic bottle for that. Yes, absolutely. You take care of those things and let them loose. All right, but so that's inside, just chaos as always. But outside, it's really not that chaotic. The atmosphere's got some energy to it, a little juju out towards the east. But this severe thunderstorm watch, so far, we've just had one warning out near Conneaut. The bulk of this activity is going to be out towards Pennsylvania, and I think that will hold true the rest of the evening. You can see, we've got scattered storms on there. A pretty big storm coming together over towards Meadville. I would keep an eye on that storm if you got friends or family out towards the Albion area or out towards the east. But overall, Ashtabula County, you're doing just fine. Just some downpours here and there in areas of Portage County as well. One heading into Brimfield. Otherwise, we're just going to deal with a couple downpours here and there, not expecting a lot more. You can see all that red area. That's the Cape, or the atmospheric energy. That's where storms love to form. They have a lot of lift. And you can see how the bulk of that's out in PA. We still have some here. It's still very unstable. You know that outside. But really, I think most of the forcing, most of the lift is going to be off towards our east. Beyond this, we look off towards the west. We've got clearing skies, Chicago up towards the UP of Michigan. That's our forecast tomorrow. We'll really start to improve our conditions. So your National Design Mart hour-by-hour forecast, leftover showers overnight tonight. It will be a muggy night. We're never bringing in cold air this time of year. It's just a cool front. And it's going to be just slightly cooler tonight, maybe some 60s, most of us near 70. Tomorrow we start with clouds, kind of a murky start to your Friday, but we should see improving conditions throughout the day. If you have Friday afternoon, evening, or nighttime plans, you're looking fantastic. I think we'll have sunny skies later in the day. Hey, it's Thursday. What's new in terms of the weather is the drought monitor gets released on Thursdays. This is the latest drought monitor. And yeah, you don't need our lawns or gardens to tell us that we've got dry conditions out there. In fact, some moderate drought developing western parts of Ohio. So yeah, we could use the rain. So let's look ahead the next 7 days to see if we get some. You can see that front settles down to the south the next couple days. We'll go dry Friday, Saturday. Our next chance of rain will be some thunderstorm clusters roaming off towards the north. That arrives late on Sunday, and that frontal boundary will hang out next week. So bottom line, we have some rainfall chances next week, but we've got 2 more watering days ahead if you didn't get much rain today. Universal Windows Direct 7-day forecast, 87 tomorrow. It'll still be muggy outside. That humidity ramps back up this weekend. It's going to be a hot weekend. 93 Saturday, 94 Sunday, and then next week isolated to scattered showers and thunderstorms with temps back into the 80s. Just chaos over here, guys. I'll send it back to you.
Poor Grumpelstiltskin. Oh, my goodness. Wait till the new baby comes along, Matt. We can hardly wait.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
1 month to go, right?
No.
It'll be fine.
1 month to go.
Oh, this
yeah.
is going to be
Chaos.
fun. What? Poor Matt.
He's saying speak for yourself.
Yeah, right.
Both of us had 2.
We'll send reinforcements. We'll send a care package or something over there for sure. All right, you see the Tokyo Olympics logo there. How much do you know about the Olympics? Put your knowledge to the test along with us. That's right, it's Throwdown Thursday.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Oh, he's got a tux on. I love it. Oh, that's great. I don't want Betsy to touch this buzzer after
I don't want your cooties.
I know you don't want my cooties, so
I'll take both your cooties.
Of course you will.
I'm good.
You're going to take them and you're going to like them.
There you go. With the little, it's best I could.
Are you ready right now? All right, Betsy, Jay, practice question. Here we go. Are you ready? Good.
Yes.
Let's do it. Here's the question. Which Cleveland Indian is the only one to hit 100 home runs, steal 100 bases? There's another stat in there, too. Is it Jason Kipnis? That's the answer. Julio Franco or Corey Snyder? Betsy, you go.
That was Jay, actually, Mr. Baseball.
You can get it.
Jay, sorry, I didn't even see.
Whoever that guy was.
An over.
It does. Yes, yours has an override, and I guarantee you're going to out-buzzer me.
Okay.
Sad.
You start.
Okay. It is our favorite day of the week. It's Thursday, what we like to call Throwdown Thursday. And since the Olympics were supposed to be starting later this month, we thought we'd keep it alive with some spirit and fun trivia.
Yeah, as always, the leg lamp is up for grabs. I brought that into the studio. Mike Polk is wearing his tuxedo, which I'm glad to see. He's going to MC it. Betsy and I have our little buzzers here. This is what mine sounds like. Betsy? That's Betsy's. Hope you can hear those at home. Mike, I hope you can hear them and keep them apart. Go ahead. You're on the clock with the first question.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for having me. Betsy, Jay, this is so exciting coming to you from CHATEAU, POLK, hanging out in my living room on a delay. This is going to get awkward. Let's have some fun. Question number 1.
Okay.
Question number 1. Which track athlete is this? A, Jesse Owens. B, Carl Lewis. I think someone buzzed in there.
Jay.
Am I right? And
Yeah.
Jay is in.
I did. I mean, my God.
Go ahead, Jay.
I know this one.
Well, if I didn't know it, he won gold medals in my son's discipline. That's Carl Lewis, the long jump champion and 100-meter dash champion.
Very good, Jay. That's correct. And thank you for that extra information, making sure that we knew that you're even smarter than you need to be for this. All right. Next question. Michael Phelps is the most decorated Olympian with 28 medals. How many of them are gold? A, 26, B, 24, or C, 23? Ooh. Which is it?
I'm not even going to guess.
I'm going to say 23.
Let's see. 23 is correct. Jay,
The wild
strutting
guess.
around that newsroom today.
I had house money to play with because I got the first one right, so I just guessed. Okay, number 3.
Always fun to hear how our players are motivated. Coming next, we have another picture question for you.
Stop the
Which
question.
Olympic gymnast
Betsy thinks she knows the answer.
That's Mary Lou Retton.
Betsy, go right ahead.
That's Mary Lou Retton.
That is Mary Lou Retton, the girl I had a weird crush on in 1984.
That's not awkward.
All right, now
It'd be weird if you had a crush on her
here we
now.
go. I was a child.
Yes, that's
All
fine.
right, here we go.
All right, 2-1.
2-1. Here's the next question. All right, did someone buzz in before
He
the
did.
question
Make
was
him say a
asked?
name.
Again, I'm in Lakewood.
Make him say a name.
Okay, which Olympian does not have ties to Northeast Ohio? Dominique Makino, boy, I should have looked that up. Jesse Owens, or Sean Johnson.
He is cheating. He's reading the question before it comes out.
I knew it. It was Sean Johnson.
You didn't know what the three answers,
Well, yeah, you knew.
were.
I could see who the first 2 choices were, and I knew they were from Northeast Ohio.
It's always adorable watching you guys bicker like this. We just got to go ahead and wrap this one up.
Okay.
We're gonna give that one to Betsy because Jay cheated.
So it's
and
2-2.
Now it's tied up.
Yeah.
2-2.
Okay.
Final question.
Yeah.
This is it, you guys. The leg lamp is on the line. Here we go. Well, that's the intro. Hold on. There it is. Ha ha! Last question. When are the 2021 Summer Olympics supposed to begin? A, July 16th, B, July 23rd, or C, July 20th?
I'm going to let you take this one, Jay.
Wait, read those again. I think you had it wrong.
A, July 16th, B, July 23rd, or C, July 20th. When were they supposed to begin? Someone has to take a guess.
I'm going to buzz in.
We have to go to break at
I'm
some
going to buzz
point.
in, and I'm going to say, because it says 30th, what I'm looking at, but I'm going to say the 20th.
20th is not an
It
option.
is the 23rd. And the answer was B, July 23rd.
He said 20th.
Betsy wins
And
by
I tried to
default
tell him it
because
was a
of
mistake.
Jay's cheating.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm sure it must have been something like that. Regardless, it was a great game. You guys both did great. If you could shake hands, you would, but you can't, not in this day and age.
Fist bump.
And thank you for playing.
All right.
Thank you, Mike. I will definitely hand the lamp over to Betsy, even though I'm going to protest that victory.
As is proper.
Good. Okay, Mike, thank you very much. We're going to come back. We're going to wrap up What's New right after this. I don't know how I lost.
That's right. I didn't win it. I let Jay lose it.
No, you took it from me. I'm not going to lie, I'm a little bitter.
You cheated.
Next Thursday, I'm winning it back.
I probably. Let's face it. Let's be honest.
We're done, but we invite you to come back and join us again tomorrow at 5 o'clock.
Please do.